Anybody in their early 20s who thinks they want to make a career farming, don't get used to weekends.
We don't grow on the best soils by far.
It was hugely liberating for me to be able to have land and actually do things and just come up with ideas and try them out.
Vermont has a great reputation when it comes to local food. Nationwide, we're recognized for our local food scene, which shouldn't surprise people, because when most folks think of Vermont, they think of cows, and they think of rolling farmland, and they think of our co-ops and our farmers markets and our restaurants where local food abounds.
Vermont's really fortunate in that there's a huge network of nonprofit and state agency and UVM extension related programs. People love to grow things, but they don't want to sell them, or they don't want to take the time to learn how to sell them, or the effort to sell them. And why grow it if you're not going to sell it?
Hunger Mountain Co-op took me on as a vendor. That was kind of really what started to drive the business. And then Mad River Food Hub opened up about 4 years ago.
The idea was that we'd create a processing centre that farmers and food processors would come to and process their vegetables.
Distribution, distribution, distribution.
Well, there isn't any distributor out there who's like, I got it easy.
Sometimes it can be easier to get a head of lettuce from California than from the person down the road.
When these big institutions, with their big food orders, make a commitment to local food, they can totally transform a market.
I never would have imagined the amount of broccoli that we go through here at Wake Robin.
We serve over 2 million meals a year.
It's inconceivable how much food goes in and out of these kitchens in a day.
Surveys have shown again and again that Americans would prefer to buy locally sourced food. And 2 out of 3 of us say we'd even pay a little bit more for it. So why aren't we then? Why is local food still considered niche?
For a farmer to be able to make enough money, you're often having to go into that very large scale agriculture or selling at a really high-end market, which excludes a lot of people in Vermont and elsewhere from the local food system who can't afford that.
So if we're serious about an alternative to that as a society, we have to find ways to subsidize and support more sustainable agriculture.
What if I told you that not all of this waste needs to be wasted?
We, as the state of Vermont, are the only state in the nation that have adopted the food recovery hierarchy into our law, which sets out priority of management of the usable food and the nutrients that they have in order to get them out of the landfill and into a system that can best utilize them.
Who knew bringing people manure would bring such joy?
I really think people here are ready to do this work. They really just need somebody to actually give them the credit that they might actually care about what their world looks like.